Doesn't fall. Welcome to Lakers 365, episode 9. I am your host, Jack Esko, and today on the show, we are going to be talking about Los Angeles Lakers, an incredible win. We'll go into a little bit of outside the court, Dion Waiters news, player of the game, and then preview another emotional and incredible game, Lakers-Clippers, on Sunday. All right, let's get to it. So Dion Waiters, this happened yesterday, finalized would have been Thursday, signed a 1-year, $503,656 contract. It's guaranteed, unlike the Dwight Howard contract. The cap hit is $375,385 off of this contract. Source Spot Track. What do I think about it? If he can be a nice wing defender, I think it works out. If he can stay on the straight and narrow, I'm sure LeBron James talked to him a couple times, like, hey, we need you for this run. We need you to stay on the straight and narrow. And I can see him saying, I'm sure LeBron said something to Dwight Howard as well. So if he can just stand in his P's and Q's, I really don't have an issue with it. Just wing defense. Come on, Dion. Wing defense. Okay. So going into this game now, because we're finishing the outside of the court stuff, going into the game, the Bucks started off the first quarter blazing fast, unbelievably fast. They're hitting everything. They're on a 8-0 run. You're like, oh my gosh, this is getting out of hand. Frank Vogel calls a timeout, and the Lakers starting to it's not ideal what they're showing up against the Bucks. Even with that timeout that Frank Vogel did, it's not working. Whatever's working, it's not working. The Lakers were missing everything, and the Bucks were hitting everything. But then, just late in the first quarter, the Lakers had a 7-0 run to try to close out finish out the first quarter strong. And I wrote this down, and this was the big reason why the Lakers won, 113-103, by the way. The Lakers need to take advantage and score when the Lakers miss on most of their shots. It could cost them the game if they do not. And they did. They had a lot of points off turnovers. The Lakers, second quarter into the second half, were unbelievable defensively. This is one of the best defensive performances I've seen from the Lakers in a very long time that I can even recall. They took charges, disrupted passing lanes, blocks, steals, did all the big stuff and the little stuff defensively, switched properly. I mean, this was an unbelievable defensive performance, having this incredible Bucks team to 103 points, which is unheard. I get it, they're at home, but at the same time, it's Giannis. It's all these players around him. I think the Lakers gave a blueprint to everyone how to beat the Bucks or Giannis. Clog the paint. It's like, if you want to shoot threes, go right ahead. The Lakers did a brilliant job of clogging the paint, having 4 or 5 people, hey, you want to, be Mr. Superman, go right ahead, but you're not going to do it uncontested. And they started doing that a lot more in the second quarter to second half, and they did an incredible job. And this is, now mind you, this is all with 80 in early foul trouble in the first half with 3 fouls. Dwight Howard not playing well, and the Lakers shooting abysmal from three-pointer. I believe they ended up 18.75%, 6 for 32. So they were abysmal from 3 all game. All those things going again, and they're still in the game. They're still leading, and it's just a testament to LeBron James, Anthony Davis, a couple nice role players, Kyle Kuzma, Avery Bradley. I can't talk highly enough about Avery Bradley. everyone's like, well, his best days are over. He's no Boston Celtic. We don't need him to be Boston Celtic Avery Bradley. We just need him to play a little bit like that at certain times. Not all 48 minutes, just moments. And he's done that time and time again throughout the year. He's been an incredible asset to this team. And I really enjoyed watching Avery Bradley. The tenacity of how he plays. Caruso, I can go on and on and on about him. He's been well. Kuzma probably has turned out to be the best bench player. So yes, the Bucks. Going back into like the game, the Lakers bench scoring kept them in this game with LeBron and AD on the bench. They're on a 7-0 run. I wrote down this game feels very intense. Both teams playing with very good defensive intensity. This felt like a playoff game. It really did. It felt like a playoff game. We had all these celebrities in. Jay-Z, Andy Garcia. It felt like a playoff game. The only thing you didn't see is Jack Nicholson. Come on, Jack. But no, it felt big. It felt like a playoff game. It's going to feel bigger when the Lakers and the Clippers play. Granted, it's a Clippers home game, but it's just going to feel bigger. The battle for LA. At halftime, even though the Bucks had an incredible first quarter, then kind of went back and forth after that. Lakers 48-48. LeBron James leading scorer for the Lakers at 12. Giannis respectively also as well leading scorer for the Bucks, 12 points as well. And then, like I had mentioned, even with 80 in foul trouble and 3-point issues and Dwight not playing well, they still have enough to win this game. The Lakers, incredible third quarter, as they are on an 18-0 run in the middle of the third quarter. They were just unstoppable, doing everything, that's needed to win. Defense, hitting threes, and they're like, wow, holy cow, they're fast moving. Fast moving and getting the ball out, and it was very fun to watch that 18-0 run. And then I wrote this down. At the end of the third quarter, mind you, LeBron had 14 points in the third quarter. I wonder who our player of the game is going to be. I have to wait and see for that one. The Lakers are 40-0 when taking the lead after the third quarter. Make that now 41-0. The Bucks on a run to bring the game closer in the fourth. It was around, I believe at one point it was a 4-point game in the fourth quarter. I was like, oh my gosh. But the Lakers just hang tough. They didn't back down. They kept their defense up, and they pulled out the win. 113-103 once again. Leading scorer for the Lakers, LeBron James at 37 points. Giannis, no slouch himself, at 32 points. The dominance from the duo once again for the Lakers. Their keys for almost every win for the Lakers this year. LeBron, 37, 80, 30. And that's almost half your points. So, Kuzma had 11, I get it. Avery Bradley had 8, I believe. JaVale McGee had 5, but he did a good job from the rebound perspective. But for the most part, it was LeBron James, it was Anthony Davis, what it has been all year. So, kudos to them from a nice performance. Yet again, it's kind of like seeing the same painting in an art gallery again and again, but it's so magnificent. It's like you have to keep on like, wow, this is really good. Also, housekeeping news. This isn't like, like incredible news. Like we knew this was going to happen, but there's bigger stuff to this than just what I'm about to say. The Lakers clinch a playoff spot for the first time in 6 years. Now, if I was a Hornets fan or a Magic fan, I'd be more excited running around the streets, but I am not. There's bigger goals, championships, winning multiple rounds, and I'm happy to be in the playoff for the first time in 6 years. When it was Kobe and Dwight and Powell, but no, I'm more interested in bigger things than just the playoffs. It's nice, but I'm more interested in bigger things for sure. Moving on, player of the game. It's LeBron James, and it's not close. He made a statement to Giannis that, hey, this MVP conversation is not over. I had consideration to vote if I had to vote, give it to LeBron James before this game even started. And then one of my friends who is on Team Giannis for MVP said, yeah, you're kind of right. This MVP race is kind of a lot closer now. What I've been saying. LeBron James, 37 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals. This guy was everywhere on the floor. He did it all. And he deserves my player of the game. Now, a quick preview into Lakers Clippers tomorrow. That's going to be incredible. I look forward to that game. It's going to be a quote-unquote Clippers home game. With the Clippers logo on there doesn't mean there's going to be more Laker fans there, which there probably will be. It's going to be a very intense game, just like this Bucks game was last night. It's going to be incredible. I don't really have a prediction. I just think these are going to be the two teams that we'll see in the Western Conference Finals or close to it, depending on seeding. Like someone said, I'm sure Kawhi's going to play, Paul George is going to play. It just depends on how their rest schedule pans out for this game. But I'm sure they're going to play with this kind of magnified game. It's going to be on that Sunday primetime game on ABC. So it's good. The noon slot, 3:30. I think noon Pacific time, 3:30 Eastern time. So yeah, it's going to be an incredible game. I look forward to it. The Lakers have made some moves. I think Deion Waiter may suit up and play for them Sunday. I could be wrong, but since he wasn't there Friday, he may be there Sunday. I don't know. All right, so that is I reviewed player of the game. So all there is to it. I will see you for episode 10. Wow, we're already at 10. Unbelievable. I'll see you for episode 10 after Lakers Clippers on Sunday. What would it be? Sunday, late Sunday afternoon. I will see you then. And yeah, take care. Peace.